Okay, so now that you have signed the consent form, we're just going to start with the demographics survey here, and you can use this pen. Just fill out everything that it asks. I just realized I gave you all my stuff.
Oh.
Which is fine, we'll just keep going. I just realized it was all there.
You have it. You have it back.
Okay.
You need to
It's like, no, you're just going to keep it.
I'll ask the question.
Turn it around.
If you're working towards a bachelor's degree, do you just say bachelor's degree, or do you just say what you've completed so far?
I think you put some college credit.
Okay. I see. Didn't even see that.
Okay, and this number is individual income, and that number is supposed to be like $82,000 or something.
Okay.
So, I don't know. The question is phrased strangely, so it's
Okay.
like if you make less than that amount.
I think so.
Alrighty. Did you say?
Did I forget something?
I don't know why. I just like think this is phrased so weirdly. Like, do you make less than 82,000?
Oh, do I?
Yeah. That's why I'm like.
I thought I said annual income, so like.
Yeah, no.
Everyone. Okay, yeah.
Like individual
I
income.
wish I made.
Yeah, I know. It was so
Yes.
funny because I did that like with a teacher earlier, and like I made her look at this again. She's like, "Oh no, you must think I'm like rich or something."
Okay, sorry, yeah.
No, it's good. I always like make sure, like I don't mean to like pry, but
no,
also
no, that's
yeah,
good.
I was
so,
just like
you're making sure.
I just know, like that's a big number.
I wish it made over 80,000.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I guess we can just start the interview
cool.
then. Do you want a copy of your consent form? I'm just required to ask you that. No, you don't want one. Cool. Okay. Would you like a copy of the interview protocol? It has all the questions that I'm prompted to ask you and stuff. If you want a copy just to look at, you are welcome. If you don't want one, that's fine too.
Sure.
Alright. No one has wanted one so far. This is interesting for me. Just like to mix things up.
Yeah.
So here, if you want to look at it, it's there.
Awesome.
These are questions I'll be asking you, among other questions, depending on how I feel.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, so, have you always lived in Cobb County?
So I lived in Cobb County, until first grade. Like, I was born in Cobb County, and then I lived until first grade, and then I moved to New Jersey for 4 years, and then I came back to Cobb County, and then I've been living in Cobb County since now, so.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Learning new things.
Did I not tell you? Oh my
I don't
gosh.
feel like you did.
Wow.
But that's still like most of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, in middle school, I was here, so, like,
yeah.
you know, like, middle school.
I mean, I didn't meet
school.
you till middle school.
Right,
anyway,
so, yeah, I guess. I thought I told you, huh? You learned
Maybe
something
you
new?
did. It's just like...
It's been a while.
It's been a while, you know. Things slip your mind.
Right.
So, what year did you move here in, do you know? Around what date you moved here?
I think it was 2008 is when I moved back here.
Okay.
And then I've been living here, so like 10 years I've been living like constantly in Cobb.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years.
That's pretty much like how long I've been living here, actually.
Oh, really?
Wait, what grade? Do you know what grade you were when you moved back?
Yeah, I moved, like, there was 3 weeks left in 4th grade. I remember, like, I went to school and I had, like, 3 weeks of 4th grade left. So, like, 4th grade, like, end of 4th grade.
Gotcha.
When I came back.
I thought for a second it was, like, beginning of middle school, and I was like, that's when I moved
Yeah,
here, actually.
No. I remember you were here, like...
I don't even know how many years I've lived here, then probably, like, 9 or 8 or something like that. Almost, I think I just rounded up. I was like, yeah, I've lived here 10 years.
You probably, because you were here, like,
I was here
6th grade.
Yeah,
7th,
6th grade.
Yeah. So,
It's been a while.
Yeah. Oh
So, how did your family end up in Cobb County?
I think we were looking in this area because we lived here before, so we just liked this area. We were really, like, familiar with the people and, like, the surrounding area.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, like, close family members and friends here, so it was just, like, a good place to, I guess, also go to school and things like that. So my parents took that into consideration, and then we were just looking at, like, houses and apartments and things like that in this area because it was, like, I guess the familiarity is what made us, like, live in Cobb County.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you know why you moved in the first place?
Yeah, so I think it was mainly because of my brother. Like, he didn't like the weather and things there. Like, he was an asthma patient, and he just didn't like the atmosphere and things like that in New Jersey, because it's very crowded. And he got really sick in New Jersey, and that didn't happen when he was living here.
Okay.
So I think like that just made us want to come back, and like, we were just, this area we felt like was just more homey than like it was in New Jersey. So that's why we decided that it was just better to come back here and like stay here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was there a reason you guys moved away from Cobb in the first place?
So we did. I think it's because we have like my mom's sister lives in New Jersey, so we wanted to like live close to her. So that's like one of the reasons why we decided, and we just wanted to change.
Gotcha.
But like we just didn't like it that much there, so that's why we decided to come back in 4 years, because I guess we just didn't like the New Jersey
better than Jersey kind of thing. So
Right.
was there not like, I mean, you did list like all those things about Cobb, so I guess were those the major reasons why you moved to Cobb, or was there something like more pressing?
And I think like also, I'm not sure if it was completely because of this, but like my dad also found a job here that like an engineering job that he liked, so that's why, like that's also one of the reasons. So
Gotcha.
we just came here for that reason too, because like originally my dad moved from India to here because of an engineering position that he got, and then like he got in the same company again, like once he came back, so like that was also another reason why we came back.
Nice.
So like job and family related were like I guess two of the main reasons.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your major at Georgia Tech, by the way?
Biomedical engineering, so it deals with like medical devices and research related, like what hospitals use in what hospitals use, like the technology and the equipment that they use. Like biomedical engineers look at that, and then also the research option where they like you can also go into the research option where you just do different types of research, like any type of like disease that you can look at if you want to like do that as well. So research and technology related, but yeah, biomedical engineering.
Is that what you want to do, the research, or?
I'm doing research right now, but I think I want to go, there's also a pre-med option, so that's the one that I'm following because I want to do something in medicine. So that's probably something that I want to do in the future, is go to medical school.
Cool, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe I could use that as a leeway into talking about the environment, but not really.
Gotcha.
So, even though your major doesn't relate or anything, what do you feel like, how is your relationship with the environment, or like how do you generally feel about it?
I think like living in the city, it's like I'm not that close to like pollution and things like that, because like where I live, it's like Georgia Tech, like people think that it's like in the city and things like that, but it's like really secluded, so I don't experience a lot of like, I guess well, I do, I guess like the one good thing about going to college is you can go outside a lot. Like it's not just where like in high school or middle school where you just like go in school and you're not really outside for the rest of the day, you're just inside. But like I guess one good thing about college is you go to different buildings and things like that, and like a lot of the buildings are spread out in Georgia Tech, so I get to like go out and like I guess be close to the atmosphere and things like that, and like the environment. So I think like where I live, like a lot of people think that the city is like polluted and like things like that because of all of the buildings and things, but like for me, I think it's clean personally, like especially where I live, it's not like unclean, and like they keep it nice, like grass is cut and like there's no litter and things like that. So I think that's one good thing about living in Atlanta. So I experience that.
Do you feel the same or differently about Cobb County general, like where you live here?
I think it's more clean in Cobb County personally.
Oh,
okay. Like if you go in Atlanta, you still see some of like litter and like some pollution, but here it's definitely the air is more clean, and like you don't see like any litter, and like you always see like the environment's super clean and things like that. So like if I'm comparing Cobb County to Atlanta, definitely Cobb County to me is more clean than like Atlanta.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What about compared to New Jersey? If you remember it, you were pretty young then.
I probably do remember it. Like again, one of the things that we didn't like is how crowded it was. Like one thing that I like about Cobb County and like Georgia in general is like how spaced out everything is. In New Jersey, everything's super crowded. There's like, it's a very small state with a lot of people in it. Like Georgia has a huge population as well, but like it's a big state, right? So everyone's like spread out, and the like especially the air and just the environment super clean. Like, I didn't feel that way when I was in New Jersey. Like, super crowded, super humid. Like, the air wasn't that great. Like, I can give, like, the example I gave with my brother. Like, he just did not, like, the atmosphere did not suit him.
Mm-hmm.
It was very similar to, like, what you would experience in New York City or something like that. So definitely here, like, the benefit is it's not that polluted, and like the air's super clean, and yeah, that's something that I really like about living in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to that
Okay.
with the maps. I'll ask you more questions.
Cool.
For now, I'm going to start talking about solar in particular.
Okay.
So, do you have solar on your home here?
We don't.
Okay. Do you know why you guys don't have solar?
I personally don't know, because like usually my dad deals with all of the solar or like the energy related stuff, but I'm not sure. Like if I was to give an opinion, I would think it's more expensive than like how we would regularly get energy, but I'm not sure. I think it's because of like the cost, but I mean you could probably like educate me on that, because I'm not sure.
So with the decision to get solar for your house was made for you, basically, like by your dad.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you had the option, you personally, would you put solar on your rooftop?
I think I would, because it's personally it's like helping the environment, and you're not like wasting so much natural resources and things like that, because I know like regular energy, like the electricity that we get is coming from like it's being powered by coal and like natural gas and things like that, which is not good for the environment, but like solar power is like super clean, and like it's free, and like you're just getting it. Like I know like the original like placement and stuff is probably expensive, but like once you have it, then like you get that free energy. So I think that would be like super helpful, not only for us, but like for the environment as well. So like if I had the option, then yeah, I think I would.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Could, in your opinion, could you also list some more pros and cons as to why you would personally want solar on your rooftop?
Yeah.
And if you could focus on non-economic barriers for the cons.
Okay. Oh dang, that's hard.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Again, I would say pros is like it's clean. Like if you use natural gas and like coal and things like that, it's bad for the environment. Like a lot of the coal and stuff is not good for like the animals and things like that in the environment. You produce a lot of waste because of that, and I just don't think that's good for the environment. Another pro is it's free. Like you get like, we live in Georgia and we get so much sunlight and things like that, so I think like if you place it correctly on your house, and you get like an abundance of that sunlight, and I'm not trying to, it's not like, I don't want to use free because that's like the economic thing, but like there's so much energy being used because of like, if you do it like the natural way, like the coal and things like that, but this, you're just getting like that natural light. The cons, like the only thing I can think of is like, besides like the economic thing, is just originally setting it up, and like I'm not sure exactly like the process of how like the placement and stuff happens, but I guess just the like, not the expense to us, but like just making like a solar panel, like I don't know how like time consuming that is, but like I just like the original placement, like I guess that would be a con, because I guess it's less time consuming to just get it the original way, your electricity, but maybe like the panels are like hard to put on the rooftop or something like that. I guess that would be a con. I'm not like super sure of the process, but I guess that would be a con.
Yeah, just like time consumption and effort wise.
Exactly, to like put it on your
something
house.
New. Would you think that's a con? Like just people don't want to change?
Yeah, I feel that is because like, if someone asked me, like, call me, hey, you want to set up, like, a solar panel, I'll be like, yeah, I'll think about it, but, like, I don't know that much about it. Like, I'm just so used to the electricity that I get, like, originally, that I'll be like, okay, I'll think about it, but I don't know that much to, like, take a leap and do that change. So I think that would be, like, a con, is I don't know too much about it.
Okay.
Like, I wish someone would, like, educate me more on solar panels, because I don't know too much about it.
Gotcha. So, like, a knowledge
exactly,
barrier.
like, if there was more knowledge about it, then
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. A lot of people say that, actually.
Yeah.
Just nobody knows things.
Like,
And it's not really your fault either.
Yeah, I don't hear about it. Like, you hear about it a little bit in school, but, like, you don't know that much about it.
You really don't. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
so
sad.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna get out some maps.
Okay, cool.
And you'll be drawing on these maps if you could kindly label for me. Wherever you think people have the most solar power adoption on the rooftops. Any, like, however you want to label it is fine, just, like, circling or, like, shading, like, whatever you want to do. You can also put words that you associate with those areas, whatever you want.
Just one place that I think?
No, anywhere, like, all over the place. Like, if you think there's multiple places that would have, like, not, like, the very most, but, like, all of these places have some, or, like, have a lot of adoption.
Okay. Yes. You can encircle, like, an entire state.
Yeah, you can circle however you want.
Gotcha. I'm trying to see where, like, it's very hot and, like, places that I would think would have a lot of sunlight available to them. Probably not here. I'm gonna say these for now, and then, like, I'll explain why I didn't do some of them as well.
Okay,
so
sounds good.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm about to ask you.
Cool.
So, could you walk me through some of the reasoning that you went through in order to choose the places that you did?
Sure. I'll start with California. So I think California is like if I like hears things of, like, on the news, I feel like that's one of the main states that's trying to go green and, like, convert from, like, the natural gas and, like, the coal and, like, all of that type of energy to, like, solar and, like, hydro energy and things like that. So, like, I guess whenever I hear anything about news, like, I think, like, California is, like, one of those states that's trying to take that leap and go, like, super green. Like, I hear a lot about, like, the cars and, like, electric cars and things like that. So I think they're, like, trying to go away from, like, all of those natural resources that are bad for the environment and trying to go for those resources that are good for the environment. So that's why I chose California. I didn't choose a lot of the states here because I'm not sure which ones, but I know a lot of them, like, mine for coal and natural gas and things like that. So I feel like there's abundance of those resources available over there. So that's why they wouldn't want to switch to, like, solar or hydro.
Okay, that's interesting. The Midwest area?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So, like, I feel like that energy is super cheap there because, like, you don't have to transport, like, all of the resources. It's naturally available to them, so they would, like, I think it would be easier for them to use that instead of, like, going through the process of, like, installing, like, the solar panels and things like that. And I guess, like, in that way they wouldn't want to do that. Texas, I think, or, like, yeah, I guess, like, all of these, like, countries, like, or not countries, states would not want to use like, I don't hear that much on the news, like, oh, like, we want to switch to, like solar, hydro. They're, like, more of those countries, or more of those states that are pro, like, coal and, like, natural gas and things like that. So that's why I don't think they're super go green and, like, using solar panels. I feel like the one reason that I chose Georgia is because, like, there's people like you that are trying to, like, ask for opinions of, like, people in Cobb County and, like, around the area, like, what do you think of solar panels? So they're taking that initiative to actually start, like, solar panels. So, like, it's probably already, like, a lot of people already have solar panels here, so that's why I thought, like, oh, like, probably Georgia's, like, starting that, and, like, they want to, like, increase the amount of solar panels that are available in Georgia and, like, convert to, like, a more green resource. So that's why I chose that. And then I also chose Florida because I think, like, when I think of, like, the Sunshine State, so, like, I feel there's a lot of, like, sunlight naturally available to them, so it would be, like, an easy resource for them to use and install on homes. So that's why I chose Florida. And then I didn't choose a lot of the northern states because I feel like, it's an opinion, I'm not even sure.
Yeah, of course. This is what we want.
Right.
We, like, want to know what you think.
I feel like there's, I don't know, I feel like so many of the months, you get, like, less sunlight. Like, I know when I'm up north, like, I see that the day is super short and there's not a lot of sunlight readily available, like, here. Like, the day is super long and you get so much sunlight, but I don't think that's, like, readily available in, like, a lot of the northern states. So that's why I don't think that solar panel is that heavily used in a lot of the northern states. That's why I didn't choose those states.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
this is a very good explanation.
That was my intuition. I don't know how right
that's
or wrong I am.
A very good explanation. You honestly have done a better job than many people, adults. Who are old.
I try.
Good job. Man, I'm just proud of you.
Thanks, Sabrina. I appreciate it.
So now I'm going to ask you why you think the people that live in the states that you chose, obviously that are not Georgia, I guess, are so different from the people from where we live.
I think, like, for example, California, I think the government pushes people to go green. Like, in a lot of the other states, like, I guess Texas or, like, a lot of the Midwestern states, like, the government is not, like, super, like, they're not pushing people to change or convert to, like, a more, like a better, like, resource and, like, one that helps the environment better. They're not, like, promoting that, but I feel like California, they're probably promoting, like, hey, you should definitely, like, probably there's initiatives taking place where people actually go and talk to people, like, you should switch to, like, a more green energy resource like solar because it's helpful to the environment and, like, it's better for you and things like that and will help you in the long run. But I don't think a lot of, like, the other states are promoting that. So that's why, like, people are also not taking initiative to convert. Like, maybe in Florida as well, they may be the government may be taking an initiative to, like, help people convert to, like, a more sustainable and, like, reusable energy resource than, like, coal or something like that. That's used probably more prominently in the other states. So yeah, that's why.
Okay. And oh man, I just lost it. I just lost it. It'll come back.
It'll come back.
Just wait for it. Oh, do you think it's just the governments that are encouraging the people, or do you think it's also the people themselves? Like, do they have different mindsets from each other?
So yeah, like, I feel like there's a lot more like a younger, like, probably in a lot of these states, maybe even in, like, Florida, I guess, like, there's like a larger older population, so they're not as, I wouldn't say educated, but they're not as motivated to, like, this is, again, my opinion.
Yes.
Like, I, like, don't know if this is true or not, but, like, they're not as motivated to switch to a more, like, reusable and cleaner energy resource. And, like, probably because, like, yeah, it'll affect their children and their grandchildren, but, like, it won't really affect them as much because, like, you know, like, they're old and, like, I guess they wouldn't really care about that. But, like, the newer population, like, the newer generation, like, in California, they know that it's affecting them, and, like, in the long run it's going to be hurtful to them and, like, the environment that they live in because like, coal and natural gas and stuff is going to pollute the environment, so it's going to affect them in the long run. So I think a lot of, like, the younger generation, like, also, like, you learn more about it in, like, our age. Like, they're actually teaching us now in schools, like, why reusable energy is beneficial. I don't think that was there for, like, a lot of the older generations. Like, they did not learn that in school, but like, we actually learned that, so we have a little bit of that education as it is. So I think that's why, like, the younger generation wants to convert to, like, a more, like, sustainable and reusable energy resource. And I think, like, definitely that age gap is one of the reasons why, like, we as a generation would want to convert to, like, solar panels and things like that. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you think then that the younger generation is more aware or environmentally conscious in that way?
I think so. And one of the main reasons, again, is because we've been educated about that. Like, we've learned about this, like, in high school, like, the importance of renewable energy resources and how we will be affected. I think it, like, hits us home, like, if we don't make a difference now, it's going to affect us in the future. It's going to affect our children. So, like, they're making us, like, consciously aware of our decisions now and how they'll impact us in the future. And I think that, like, the older generations have not been, like, educated about that. But we know, like, if we don't make a difference now, then it's going to affect us in the future. And, like, our environment is just going to continuously get worse and worse. So that's why a lot of like, our generation is trying to make an impact now so we don't have to suffer in the future.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're so good at this. You're good at being interviewed.
No,
I'm
not
just
at
gonna
all.
have to keep you. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied with your explanations.
Awesome.
We're going to move on to the Georgia map.
I'm so glad.
So, I mean, are you though? This is, like, harder for most people. So we're gonna do pretty much the same task here. You'll just be labeling where you think the people would have the most solar power rooftop adoption in the state of Georgia. Just like label like the regions like however you want.
Yeah.
They don't have to be like certain like territories. You can just like make general circles around general areas, however you want to do it.
Okay. I'm trying to think of all of the places that I've visited and like trying to make connections like that. But this is harder than like the map for sure. Which is sad, but
it is sad.
Whatever.
But you know, I don't feel like they really make a study of geography of Georgia in school or anything.
Right? And like
really not a
8th
lot.
grade was like Georgia studies, but it was all like Civil War.
It was
and,
about like history of Georgia, like not about geography
boring,
of Georgia.
like so boring.
It's pretty bad.
And it was regions too. It wasn't like
you
know. So okay, I'll leave it at this.
All right.
Like,
you can expand as you please.
Sure.
But so could you just tell me a little bit about why you chose the areas that you did? What was your reasoning there?
Sure. So I think, like, again, what I said with Florida is there's probably a lot of natural sunlight available in like the southern states of Georgia, like especially even during the winter time. Like even now in the winter time, like up north, like where we live, the day's super short, so you don't get that much sunlight in a day. But I feel like a lot of the southern states, like it's not that cold all the time, and you get a lot of natural sunlight available throughout the day. So I think that's why there's probably a lot more solar panels available in the southern states. And then I chose this area again, one because companies like yours are actually taking an initiative to ask people about their opinions about solar panels. So I feel like they're already taking an initiative in this region to expand solar panels and make it more prominent in a lot of the homes available, or a lot of the homes make solar panels more prominent there. And I guess also, I'm not sure about this, but I feel like there's a larger population in this area compared to like the rest of Georgia, and again, I'm not sure about that. So just proportion wise, I think that there would be more solar panels available, and like it would appease to a larger population here, just because there's more homes available that would I guess readily you can install solar panels, because I think like a lot of this area is farmland, so there's not a lot of like natural home, like there's not a lot of homes available in general. It's just farmland. But here, like there's a lot of there's a larger population, so more homes, and like you were able to install more solar panels in general. So that's why I think this would be an area where there's a lot more solar panels. I'm not sure about, like, I didn't choose a lot of these areas because I feel it's a lot of mountain area.
Gotcha. In the upper north.
Exactly. So I feel like in mountainous areas, like it's kind of impractical to install solar panels because again, there's not a lot of homes. It's just like mountain area. So like, where would you install solar panels?
On the mountain.
Yeah.
Just get rid of them. Put solar.
Chop down the mountain then to put on that solar panel.
I mean, why not? But yeah, what makes the people from, I guess, just from this really south region of Georgia so different? Like the people who live there are so different from the people who live towards where we live. And I guess, I mean, yeah, we're from, like, what makes these people down south different from the people in Cobb County?
Gotcha. This is like a really, I don't know, I don't know if I should be making this assumption.
Do it, cajole.
I feel like in the South, they're not that educated about renewable and reusable resources as we are. I feel like we living in like a suburban city area, we're like more aware of this like new solar and like hydro energy and all these different types of renewable energy resources, while in the South I don't think like a lot of people are aware or educated about that. And I'm not saying like they're ignorant or anything about that, it's just they're probably not been exposed to a lot of that. Like I guess like here we like see it on billboards or like, you know, like on the like advertisements and things like that, based on like the region that we live in about renewable energy resources, while like probably in the South like it's not that prominent. Like people don't like, probably are not aware of like the importance of solar energy or like different types of energy like that. So I guess one thing is like the difference in education is like why I would assume that it's more like people here would have more knowledge and like use solar energy more than like down south.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, why did you say why you think that people from our county and like this area do have solar? Like why they would be high adopters of it?
I like one of the main reasons I think is because we're educated. Like companies like yours are telling me that like the importance of solar energy, and like I guess like your company and like just different people in general would be making like homeowners aware of the importance of solar energy, and I guess within that sense, and also like we're educated in high school about like the importance of solar energy, so we know like why it would be better to use solar energy as opposed to like regular energy. But like here like it's like I don't think they know that much about it, so but yeah, I think that's why they would use it more here.
Gotcha. Do you know people, since you did label the area that we live in, do you know people who do have solar power?
I don't think I've seen anyone with like, it would be cool if I saw, but I don't think I've seen like anyone use solar energy, or maybe like I'm just personally ignorant and like I've not like actively seen someone, like I've not asked someone like, hey, like what type of energy are you using, and like I guess that's something I should look into, is like how many people in Cobb County actually use solar energy, and if that would be like a benefit for like our family in general to change. But like I guess personally I've just been ignorant and I've never like actually seen if someone's actually using solar energy, so that's probably something I should look into.
What about some people that you know, like close friends and stuff that live within Cobb County? Have you noticed whether they have solar on their roofs?
Again, I'm like super ignorant.
No, it's okay. I
like,
just clarifying.
So like no, I like personally I don't think I've taken an initiative to actually see if they've
That's fine.
Yeah, sorry.
Might be my mom there, so
okay.
I'm not sure. Just tell her we're not done.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, I don't remember what I was asking you. Oh yeah, why do you think the people that you do know, like within the county, why do you think that they do or do not want to adopt solar for their rooftops?
I think like the people that already have it are probably like educated about the importance of solar energy, and they know that how beneficial it is in like helping the environment, and how much like they're saving economically, and just in general like they know the importance of solar energy and like how beneficial it will be for like converting from like regular energy to solar energy for the future. So again, I just think they're more educated than like the people that don't use it right now. Like personally me, like if someone asked me if I want to switch, I would think about it, but I'm just like super ignorant about it because I don't know that much. But I think like the people that currently do have it in Cobb County know more about solar energy, and that's why they have solar panels available on their homes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What about like specifically the people that you know that don't have it? Why do you think that they don't have it, or why do you think? Or what are some non-economic barriers that you think that they would face?
I think like one thing is like if someone asks someone like oh like switch to solar energy, then like one thing I guess just the hassle and the time consumption of like installation, and they would think like oh that's just a super hassle, and like I don't want to bring like economic again, but like
right.
I'm just saying like it's probably not true, but people may think it's expensive, and like why change if you're already like okay and there's no issues with like the current energy that's available to them. So I guess like people are not educated about the importance of solar energy and why it's important to switch, because you know it's hurting the environment and it's not good for the future to continue using like coal and natural gas and things like that. So I guess like one thing is like people are not educated about its importance, and that's why they're not switching to solar panels and solar energy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Based on your experiences living in Cobb County versus when you lived in New Jersey, did you feel like the people had different mindsets in the different places that you lived in terms of the environment or solar in general?
Personally, like because I was so young, I don't remember like if it was like if they considered like renewable energy resources as like with more importance in New Jersey, but I feel like I guess like the time that I've lived here, like we're more focused on solar energy here, just because I feel in New Jersey, like it's not that naturally, like there's not a lot of sunlight again because the day is so short, but here like the day is super long, so like people are trying to convert to solar energy because like naturally we have it available, so why not use it? So I think like here solar energy is more prominent than it was like in New Jersey and all the northern states.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing, like, have you seen solar around New Jersey more than you saw it here? Or if you don't remember, that's okay.
Personally, I was ignorant.
Yeah,
so
it's okay.
Probably not.
Okay, so you didn't, like, notice a major difference in terms of that?
I don't think so. Like, the one thing I noticed up north is they use a lot of, like, I know this is, like, going off topic, but, like, I know they use, like, wind energy, like...
Oh, okay, just, like, a different...
So I think they just use a different type of renewable energy resource. Like, here we don't have... I don't think we have that much, like, natural wind available, but, like, here we have solar energy available, so I think, like, it's just a different type of energy that both of the regions are using. It's just, like, here we have more sunlight, so, like, they're using more sunlight. Over there, they have more wind available, so they're using, I think, more wind energy.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're pretty much done with the interview. I just forgot to ask you some things in the beginning somehow.
No, it's okay.
They're very short. So you are not a homeowner, correct?
Yeah.
So a non-homeowner. Okay.
Non-homeowner, yeah.
And could you describe the type of structure, or in this case, I guess a house, like describe the kind of house you live in? Is it like a single family house?
I think so. Like, could you expand on what you mean by...
It's, like, not attached to, like, another family's house or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just, like, a single family home.
That's, like...
Sorry, I don't know.
It's a really weird question, too, because it's, like, I don't identify, like, my house with these words.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's, like, single family detached. I'm like, I guess.
Sure.
That's me, I guess. Yeah. But, yeah, we're pretty much done, so I'm gonna turn it off.